Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kangsha Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnan Vande Jagat Guru. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I worship Bhagavan Krishna Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the darling of mother and the Guru of all. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading Bhagavatam, chapter 1, book 1, chapter 2, and we read up to verse number 16.
I think it's 22.
No, no, 16. So, how the devotion progresses, that is being indicated here. How the gradually love for God grows, that has been described here. So, we just reading a few verses before, from 14. Therefore, a man should with one pointed mind hear about, praise, worship, and contemplate upon the Supreme Being, the goal of life, the master of all devotees. Constant contemplation of his deeds, that means think of the spiritual, the sportings of the Lord. Krishna, how he played, how he danced, how he sang, like that. The constant contemplation of his deeds is a veritable sword for cutting asunder bondages of self-centered tendencies of work, which only go strengthen the knot of egoism. In us, karma binds us, so it can cut if we meditate on the glory of Krishna and his. Krishna means we are very liberal. Vedanta is very liberal. Rama, you can think of Christ, you can think of Buddha, whoever may be your ideal, the God incarnate, thinking of their divine sport, one can cut those karma bandhana, which man of insight will not feel attracted to those accounts of his deeds that are endowed with such potency. Now, 16 verse says, Susrusu Suddhadhanasu. By restoring to sacred precincts, one gets an opportunity to associate oneself with and serve holy men. Punna tirtha nishevanat san mahat sevaya vipraha vasudeva katha ruchi. Ruchi means taste. Taste for food, taste for hearing the holy divine sport of God does not generate here for ordinary people. Unless those people, they're getting to the sacred place they go, and they are getting an opportunity of the holy people associated with oneself and serving those holy people. Such service strengthens one's faith in spiritual matter because they live with God. So being close to them, they can feel that the truth of God. Increases the desire to hear more and more about the Lord. These are the tests of a devotee. His desire to hear about more. That is a sign of love growing for God. And gradually generates an instinctive delight in such hearing. Instinct comes. Whenever there is some Harikatha, holy discussion, discourse going on. They run from here to there to there and there. No, online people browse so many things, but the devotees will browse what? Where is this song going on? Where is this devotional discourse is going on? Who is the very holy man talking something? No, interest grows. So that's a ruchi. Spiritual life in bhakti school, that's a great development. That you are growing in ruchi means a new taste for God. People find joy in other things, but you are finding joy in something else which is connected with the divine sport of God. Ramakrishna Katha. Think of Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna is born. Ramakrishna is playing in the mango grove. Ramakrishna is playing in the role of Lord Shiva and going to Samadhi. Ramakrishna swimming in Hallar Pukur, that pond which is close to the room. Uh, He's singing, dancing with the devotees, and then go on thinking of his childhood. That means as soon as you're thinking like that, your mind is always getting tuned to Ramakrishna, who is nothing but holiness, purity, love, joy, blessedness. So today we start verse number 17 of this book, page 8. It is book 1, chapter 2, dot 17. Srinnataং swakathaং Krishna punyasravana kirtana hridyantasto yabhadrani vidhunoti suhit satam. Krishna, the friend of the devotees, when you think of him, purifies the heart of those who take his name. That is, the power of the name is such. The name, you take the name of God, it purifies the heart. You become so absorbed in God consciousness. He manifests in the heart of those who hear the accounts of his deeds. God, he means God, or you are thinking of Krishna, or you are thinking of whatever is your chosen idea, Christ, Buddha, Rama. He then, as your Ishta Devata, appears in your heart like a living entity. So he manifests in his heart of those who hear the accounts of his deeds, means his childhood play, his adulthood situation, or when he is giving advice to the devotees. Like Ramakrishna's life gospel gives us all the description everywhere so that one can spend the most time with some divine thoughts. And it erases all the evil tendencies blocking their spiritual development. All the things which blocks our spiritual growth, they can be wiped out by listening. So, Srinnatang Swakathang Krishna. Srinnatang means listening. Swakathang means this the Katha of Krishna. Punna Sravana Kirtana. He who listens and who chants those names, that makes the punna, means pure. And Hridyantasto Yavadrani, all the Avadra. Avadra means Abhadra, we use the language Abhadra in ordinary uncivilized, inauspicious, all this Abhadra, which is not Bhadra, which is not gentle, which is not pure. Those are all right. That means all the sins, all the negative thoughts, they are wiped out. Erases all the evil tendencies. Abhadani Vipra. Vidhunati. Vidhunati means it totally cleans up. All the sins, misdeeds are all cleaned up. 18 verse. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama bhaktir vardhati naistiki. If you do on like that day and night, the naistiki bhakti, Bhakti, devotion, naishtiki means very dedicated, one pointed love for God. Naishtiki bhakti develops. Bhakti bhavati. কোথায় ভগবতী উত্তম শ্লোকে where the devotion will go not on material object but in bhagavati means bhagavan in God who is uttama shloka whose glory is supreme glory. That means his mind gets attracted. One pointed devotion comes for those of the Lord. Yeah? When the obstructing evil tendencies are mitigated through constant application to the service of the holy men. That's why sadhu seva, holy person's service has been established very strongly in the entire bhakti literature. Because they, holy means to live with God. So if someone is that type of holy company one gets, their most sadhana, they need not have to do sadhana. By their grace, our mind will be lifted. So, when the obstructing evil tendencies are mitigated through constant application to the service of the holy and the study of the holy scripture, then one develops a steady and unshakable love for the Lord of abounding glory. Abounding glory means boundless glory and boundless grace. God's grace, God's glory in abundance. One can feel that by holy people.
But do you think that what is external dependence?
Hmm?
That if I always feel spiritually uplifted, being in holy company, but then I'm being externally dependent.
Yeah, so should not. But you take a little bit and do your sadhana. You make your mind, you are struggling to bring your mind to concentrate here. It does not come. If you go to a holy man, your mind is uplifted. And take advantage of that and do japa and then come, keep that spirit practice in yourself. You have to make it your own. But it is the glory of the bhakti that if one can really think of holy person, holy God, holy Lord, then all the negativities of the heart will be wiped out. And when the negativities of the heart is gone, then what will happen? Then unshakable love for God in abounding glory automatically manifest in your life. So it helps you. But actually, that's also a very important point. To holy person, if you don't do anything and just go around the holy person, no, it will not do. You have to take off. So you have to be open to that spiritually. Why will you go to holy people? My point is that you go to a fish market. When? You need fish. You go to a holy person, you need holiness, you go to the holy. In not taking that holiness, you go and mix with him, you see another man like you, another man like you and us. So what will you gain out of that? You will only be a critic, more critic. That's why those people who live very close to a holy man, they become more critical because he sees the human side only. But he's open to spirituality, and that as eye they can develop, you can get the benefit of it. Take the benefit, but its practice should be done. But Shravana Kirtana, that tendency, are you really, the book is saying, you will be interested in listening to the glories. You are not going to a holy person just for fun and talk about politics. How this huh, politics and economic condition or social condition or discussing mundane things. Why will you go there? There are other places you get better benefit. Yeah? So that's the
But then again, you said like that the holy person, you don't need to judge even that we really holy. It is Shivalinga, for example, it's a stone. Whatever that person is, your internal holiness of seeing that person holy will make your heart holy. So then why do you need to go like that with your internal holiness, even if the person is really not holy, gifted and holy, then
If
why
you
do
do
you need
yourself,
another person?
but you don't need, then you will understand more. If you are already like that, why will you go? That you will not understand now. When it becomes holy, then you will find the attraction of holiness. Why Swami Vivekananda is running for Ramakrishna, not knowing. When holiness will be that, you will feel what is that holiness. Then more attraction will be felt. Unconsciously, you will be pulled. Purity pulls purity. Uh-huh. So that will happen. To generate also, and when it generated, you feel more intense. Now, the nashtaprayesu abhadresu. So in all the abhadra, evil tendencies, evil thoughts, or other things are wiped out, pray almost. Nityang Bhagavat Sevaya. They are talking Bhagavat Sevaya. Bhagavat Sevaya means Seva of the Bhagavat. Bhagavat means who are connected with Bhagavan and God and God's glory. So those who are connected, that means holy people. That's why they are translated as holy people. But main verse is Bhagavata Sevaya. Seva means service. Bhagavat means Bhagavan. Bhagavan related, then that service. Bhagavati Uttama Sloki. Then in Bhagavan, who is the greatest in the adoration, that Bhakti Bhavati, the devotion grows. Now, Tada Rajasta Tamu Bhava Kamalubhadayastri Chit Etoir Anavidyam Sthitam Sattay Prasidati. Tada, when it happens like that, with the growth of devotion, when the devotion grows, the mind becomes free from agitation. Agitation of what? Instinctive passion. Everyone has these passions and like greed and sexuality and others. This type of instinctive agitations you get become free. The products and they come why? Because they're the product of Rajagun and Tamagun. Sattvagun, Sattika quality gives you transparency and can take you see God. And Rajas and Tamas means passion and lower tendencies of human mind. So they become, when the growth of development, devotion, with the growth of devotion, the mind become free. Get out of that, freed from these agitations which normal people feel, instinctive attraction for passion, greed, etc., sexuality, etc. What are they? They are the products of the Rajas and Tamas, and gets established in a peace and poise of sattva quality. So they cross then tamas, rajas, and establish in the sattvic quality. 20th verse. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavati tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Evam prasanna manaso. Thus, if one's mind become prasanna, prasanna means very peaceful, satisfied, become sattika. Main thing is sattika. If one becomes sattika, Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga, because of Bhakti Yoga, because of uniting with the Bhakti Bhalabhasha, with love, with God. Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga, love for not mundane world, love for Bhagavan, love for God. So because of that Bhakti Yogata, Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana, the knowledge of the what is God, God's knowledge, Bhagavati Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangas, and he becomes free from all attachment and become devoted to God. So in the aspirant who has through the practice of devotion attained to purity and poise of mind, as also to freedom from every form of worldly attachment that is generated in the intuition of the Supreme Being as an absolute reality. So that heart becomes more confirmed with the Supreme reality. That means their mind gradually gets off from the world and moves deeper into the God consciousness. 21st. Vidyate hridaya granthi chiddante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani na karmani drishtam evatmani ishare drishta eva atmani ishare. So vidyante hridaya granthi. When the Supreme Soul is thus intuited within oneself, the knots of the heart that makes one feel oneself as an ego or embodied being, that are severed. The doubts of the mind are dispelled, and all the accumulated karmas of the past life, as also those of the offing, are liquidated. So we are here because of the karma. Three types of karma: past, present, what I did, and what is stored in my stock. Bad karmas, many stocked in our sanskara. And this life, prarabdha. And what am I doing now? It is generating for future. So when this type of love, vidyate, drishta eva atmani ishare, if one sees atmani in him, ishar in atmani in ishar, I belong to ishara, God. In this way, day and night thinking of God, going to the holy people, chanting the name of God, then vidyate hridaya granthi, the knots of the heart is cut asunder, the doubts of the mind are dispelled, and third is karmas are all gone. 22nd. Ato vai kavayo nityam bhakting paramaya muda Vasudevi Bhagavati Kurvanti Atma Prasadanim. Therefore, what they do, Auto Boi Kavaya. Kavaya means what? Kobi. Kobi means here not the poets, but the intelligent people, spiritually inclined people, Kobis. Nityam Bhakti Parama Muda. All the time they practice bhakti, devotion, by Paramaya Muda. Muda means by happy. Being happily they get engaged, supremely being happy, they get connected with this Vasudevi Bhagavati. In Bhagavan, Vasudev. That means here means Krishna. So in Krishna, in Ramakrishna, in Rama, in Christ, that Bhagavati, Kurvanti, Atma Prasadanim. They, for this reason, wise men, they joyfully cultivate the supreme devotion to Vasudeva, which bring peace and blessedness to the heart of man. Now, why Vasudeva should be the object of worship again? Why God should be the object of worship? Then again from the verse number 23 till the end of this chapter, 34. So it is elaborated. What is that? Sattang rajas tamaiti prakitair gunastair yukta parang purusha eka ihasya dhatte sthitva sthitva huri virinchi hareti sangang shreyangsi tatra kulu sattato norinangshu. One sentence is so big, Baba. So what he says, Sattang Rajastama. Satta quality, Rajas quality, and Tama quality. Iti Prakitair Guna Gunasair Yukta. These three gunas associated with the three gunas, Para Purusha Eka. Parapurush, Supreme Personality, Supreme God is only one. By the Shakti, by the power that Supreme manifests as three. We are reading in Vedanta all the time. So this is a Bhakti book, but you see how Vedanta they are putting inside. And the package is said Bhakti, but you see inside, you open the packet, you find Brahman, Vedanta. How much you try to get out, you cannot get out. So they say the Shakti, what is the Shakti? That is Shakti, power of, they call Yoga Maya. In Bhagavatam language, called Yoga Maya. Mahamaya, Yoga Maya. So whose Yoga Maya? So yours, mine? No, of the Lord. The Lord's yogic power, the Maya Shakti, the Yoga Shakti of the Lord, the Shakti power of Yoga Maya of the Lord, that has three aspects. Sattva, or the forces of peace and enlightenment. Sattva quality means it's a power. That power gives you the power of enlightenment and peace. Sattvika quality gives you peace and enlightenment. Rajas quality of forces of passion and activity. And tamas quality of the forces of darkness and inertia. So the Shakti of Maya, of the Lord, has three aspects. The one supreme being Vasudeva assumes these three aspects of his Shakti for the purpose, three purposes. What? One is creation, preservation, and dissolution. Sisti, Sthiti, Laya. Three functions, they manifest in three ways. Comes to be known respectively, they are called the Brahma, Hari is the Vishnu, sustain, and Shiva, Hara, destruction, respectively. Of them, it is through the Sattika manifestation of Vasudeva that man attains mukti. You want liberation? The Bhagavad says, only through cultivating satta, one mukti, liberation from samsara, happens. So of them, it is through the sattika manifestation of Vasudeva. Vasudeva has three forces: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Creation, sustenance, and destruction. And they have said, what is creation? Sattva quality? They say sattva quality is it brings peace in your heart. It brings enlightenment and knowledge in your heart. Now, rajas quality, it gives the force that forces everyone to passion and other activities. And tamas takes us to darkness and inertia. So, because of the three forces, what is done? Then the creation, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. But for liberation, you have to go to Vishnu. Why Vishnu? Because it is Sattika manifestation. That's why you know Ramakrishna. There you will find only Sattika quality. In him nothing rajas, no ego, no passion, no world, no material anything. It is only God and love and cry and weep and prayer. That is the only thing. So it is the sattva quality. You want liberation, you have to cultivate sattika quality, not tamas, not rajas. And when you develop, then God, who is sattva, pure, He will reveal in your heart. 24th verse. The earth, wood, smoke, and fire are products of one and the same substance and are progressively closer to Vedic sacrifices for their performance. The fire being the immediate condition required for their performance. So many things are necessary. Earth, you have to do some home of fire. You need some ground on which you will do earth. Wood, And when you burn the wood, there will be coming smoke, and then comes fire. They are all products of the one substance. Huh? Panchabhuta, that's a, all of them are coming from the same source and are progressively closer to the Vedic sacrifice. Fire is the closest, last item for their purpose. The fire being the immediate condition that is required for their performance. No? You can have the Vedi, it's called the altar. Huh? We do on the, and you will see that when they do the sacrificial fire, they put some drawing on the ground or on a metallic container. And then they put sand or mud or something like that. And then they put the fire, organize the fire, firewood. And then the firewood, then they put the fire. But at the fire is put, what happens? The smoke comes. When smoke comes, people don't put any offering there. But when the fire starts, flame comes, then only offering is possible. So, for performing the spiritual sacrifice, fire is the closest symptom when you can start that. Fire. But when smoke, you don't give, when the smoke ghee, you don't put the clarified buttermilk in the ghee. In that, when it is smoke. When it is ground, this fire, only the firewood is there, you don't put the ghee on that. So close to sacrifice is the fire. Similarly, close to God realization is love for God. So that is the point is seen. For it is Sattva quality that reveals Brahman. That's why in life, out of the three qualities, tamas, rajas, and sattva, sattva quality is that which we should cultivate. So it is sattva that reveals Brahman. So also Mahavishnu, that means the Lord Krishna. Krishna is Mahavishnu. When they say Mahavishnu, you know Krishna. Ramakrishna, you know. That same Mahavishnu appeared before his father and said, I will be born as your child. No? So this Gadadhar, whom you see Ramakrishna, is the Mahavishnu. He was born in the form of Ramakrishna. He is born in the form of Krishna. He is born in the form of Rama. So that Mahavishnu, so also Mahavishnu, having the Sattva for his adjunct in his divine manifestation, is directly concerned with the salvation of man. So, for liberation, you have to worship Krishna. You have to worship Ramakrishna. You have to human incarnation. That is the point. Because that is close to, the example is very good. As fire is the very close to the sacrifice, no? You offer the sacrifice when the fire is on. So, for your final liberation, you need Ramakrishna or Rama, the human incarnation, for your liberation. That's close to liberation. Therefore, from time immemorial, great sages have been adoring only Mahavishnu, the pure embodiment of Sattva, and the transcendent being. Those who follow their examples will attain salvation. Therefore, verse number 25, Bhejire muniyo munayo atho agre bhagavantam adhoksajam sattvam vishuddham shemayo kalpante yo unu taniha. So, therefore, from time immemorial, it is not today that people are practicing spirituality. It is thousands and thousands of years before also we find that those spiritual seekers, they are bhejire, they are worshipping munyayo, munis, the holy people, agre, in the very beginning, whom? Bhagavantam, Bhagavan, the Lord. Adhoksajam means Krishna or Narayana or Narayan's form in human incarnation. So it is sages have been adoring only Mahavishnu, the pure embodiment of Sattva. Sattam Vishuddham. In Krishna, mostly, even in Krishna, you can find some Rajas action he has to take because he was a king. Rama, he had to show some war, or to fight archery and all these things. But that is not important. Even here, the archery and others, you see the Rama in the Ramayana, the face of Rama is always serene, calm, the sign of Sattva, sign of peace, sign of joy. So, Mahavishnu, from time immemorial, the people are adoring. Who people? The sages. Sages and saints, they are adoring Mahavishnu. Why? They are the pure embodiment of Sattva quality. And Ramakrishna, there is 99% Sattva. There is nothing Rajas, nothing Tamas. Only Samadhi. Only, even in Rama, we don't hear that he is always in Samadhi. In Krishna, we don't see that he is always singing and dancing and going to this moment to Samadhi, that moment to Samadhi. But in Ramakrishna, highest manifestation of purity and Sattva quality. That's why it is called Avatara Varishta. Avatara Varishta means the greatest manifestation, greatest among the incarnations. Avataras. Varishta means the highest. Does not mean that it is too different. Krishna is different and Rama is different. No, he said, I am same. But question of manifestation.
But he said that mother on the Sunday talk, mother could even hold inside her.
And
so
that,
it is even greater.
And that is another way. But we are talking about bhaktas, how we get attracted. That's why many people went with mother never understood who she is. Even Vivekananda is writing later about Holy Mother to his other brother disciples, that you have not understood Holy Mother at all. In time, you will understand. He is writing to Swami Brahmananda and others. My God, that's a very difficult mother when she hides herself so much. Who can understand that? That's it. So those who follow their examples will attain salvation. So what we have to do? We have to follow, to worship as the Munis. Bhejire munayo tat athagre bhagavantam adhoksajam. Adhoksaja Bhagavan, that means who is of the Sattam Vishuddham, who is the pure Sattva quality. They worshipped that Vishnu, Narayana. And that's why they had the revelation in their heart, the presence of the Lord. And therefore we should also, ye onu, those people who are following them, tam iha, they will have to follow this to get this end result. 26. Mumukshava dhi ghora rupan hitva bhuto putinatha narayana kala shanta bhajanti hi anusuyava. Many people worship many forms of God. They're all God's form. But mumuksha, those who are mumukshu means those who want liberation, freedom, now and here. Ghoro rupa and hitva. God has different forms. They give up the terrible forms of God. A mother's form, same mother, no? Sometimes takes the baby, smiles all the time. Sometimes makes the face, frowning face, and frightens the child if he's doing something naughty. Sometimes I will give you a slap. Of course, let police don't know. But anyhow, so these types of activities are always go on. No? So the aspirants don't worship them. Who want to worship Mother in the ferocious form? In Ma Kali, there are Dasabhuja, no? Na, Navamurti, Katamurti, Dasa Mahavita. 10 forms of mother is there. Most people worship the benign form. Kamala, Mother Kali also, little sober, but still by holding Chinnamasta. Oh my God, very frightening. That's why don't keep that murti in your home. People say, bhaktas, it is not good for the household to keep such mother's divine form. Mother is in the mood of destruction. So he cuts her head. And then blood is pouring, and there's in the mouth, the blood is going again in her mouth. Oh my God! It's bhayankar, frightening form. So hitva means giving up that type, worship of that type of forms, or different types of gods and goddesses. They worship Mahavishnu. Sattvika manifestation, Rajasa manifestation, Tamas, God also. That's why Tamasic people, Gita also says, the Tamasic people, the Ghoram, there are Ghor Tamas, they worship one type of gods and goddesses. Rajasic, they worship another type. Sattvika people, that's why worshipping Ramakrishna, worshipping Krishna's childhood is Sattvika form of worship. It's also worship. Or Chinnamasta, there you go, there are Chinnamasta. In an almanac, you will find that auspicious day when Chinnamastama appeared. And that day, people do Kali Puja that night. No? But we do the Kali Puja, little benign mother, no? Kali, Mother Kali. But Dakshina Kali, the full of compassion, like a mother protecting my child. She is holding the sword, and you destroy my child, I'll kill you. So that's a very protecting mother. So that's why we can go there. But to that type of mother, blood oozing and fire going and all destruction going on, we should not. Sattvika people don't do that to worship.
But one other thing, once we were visiting some Buddhist monastery, they also have different tantric thing. So in Tibet, for example, they have the nature is very rough. It is Kanchenjunga and all these Himalayas. It's very rude nature, storm and all these snowstorm. They always have to fight with strong nature.
That's okay, that's
So
the Rajasic way.
naturally, all their gods and goddesses are very fearful looking. So it's not that the human nature, it's
No.
an outside nature.
That's why they say it is not the question of this which nature. Who worships what? Which type of people will like to worship which type of God? For your realization, you must have to be Sattvika. Super Sattvik. Otherwise, other experience will come. But Vedantic experience of calmness, serenity, or through the bhakti going deeper and deeper in joy, and merging into that, will not come unless it is Sattvika worship. Objective should be Sattvika, your mind should be Sattvika. With a Rajasic mind, Tamasic mind, you cannot attain that Bhagavad Darshan. That is the God. You can, Tamasic also God vision will come. But Tamasic Darshan will have what? To fulfill what type of things? Not for ultimate, I don't want anything, I want you, oh mother. That will not come because there is still desire, prompted by desire, tamas and rajas. And sattva quality develop, then desire free. It becomes only I love you, I want to be with you. And oneness of that comes. So therefore, from time immemorial, great sages have been adoring only Mahavishnu, the pure embodiment of the Sattva quality, and the transcendent being. Those who follow this example will attain salvation. So you also follow the path of the yogis, munis, who have worshipped God in the most sattvika form. 26 verse. 27 says, Rajastama prakitaya samashila bhajanti vai pitri bhuta prajeshadin Sri Vaisharja Prajesha. Sri, Vaishwarya, and Praja. Sri means earthly prosperity. Sri, Vaishwarya, pomp and glory, money, wealth, prosperity. Praja, progeny, children, family. For this purpose, Rajastama Prakitaya. Those who belong to Rajasic quality and Tamasic quality, they will bhajanti, they will worship Pitri Bhuto Pradeshatin. That means they will worship Pitris, Pitri Purusha Upasana for that type of. So men with a dominance of Rajas and Tamas in them are drawn, they will naturally be drawn because of their sanskar, pulls them. Deities similar to themselves in nature, similar to their nature. The Pitris, the fathers, Bhutapatis, Lord of elements, and Prajapatis, Lord of cosmic cycle, as they are the quest of wealth, lordship, and progeny, children. But now, these people, many people are worshipping in the whole world. Even in India, you go, how many millions of temples are there? People are going, worshipping, offering flowers, offering incense. But what they are asking for? Give me money, give me home, give me health, good health, and let my son get a good job, and let my disease go away, let my examination, let me pass, the students also go. I'll give mother 5 rupees puja, worship. If I get a good mark in my school. So everyone is going. Who is going there? Oh, mother, give me love, give me devotion. I don't want anything. So that's why they are naturally inclined to that. In Calcutta, we heard when this COVID situation came, they are the worship of Mother what? Shitala. Shitala in Indian tradition, Shitala is the one form of Divine Mother. She actually wipes out. She's the controller of this pandemic situation. So from the malaria, no malaria, pox, smallpox, chicken pox. When we were children, we used to know any house there is someone affected by that, they will start the puja of Mother Shitala, and that Shitala puja was rampant in whole of Calcutta during the COVID. See, why are you doing prone to COVID? Why don't you go to Ramakrishna? Well, Ramakrishna cannot give all these things. He is in Samadhi. So you go to Ramakrishna for Samadhi. But for your cure of COVID, you have to go to Mother Sitala.
Mother Shitala holds a bowl with a vaccine.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's a belief, right? Right, that is the way. Mother Sitala. Then for children, Sostima, Mother Sosti. There is one tradition. So those couple who are not getting their children, so they go to worship one mother's form that's called Sosti Mata. Mother's form, they worship that. Why do you go to the? Because you need a child. So she, by worshipping her, she can fulfill your desire. So they are drawn to that type of desire, draws their type of gods and goddesses. But if you liberation, you will have to go. You will not go for this. Okay, I will have to take shelter under this god, otherwise he may get angry. No, I know one God, and he will do everything for. By his will, everything goes on. That's a sattika feeling. It's a very higher feeling. And that is the way to realize God. So it says, but in spite of this, Vasudeva is the one being to whom all disciplines and doctrines are ultimately directed. The Vedas have him as their goal. So also Yaga, sacrifice, yoga, the yogic practices, learning, tapas, dharma, all have him as their aim. In him is the end and destiny of man. So, but you go to Vasudeva, Krishna, or Ramakrishna, then there All these things are gone, all ends there. In him is the end and destiny of man. So human journey ends in God. So you want liberation, then you worship Vasudeva. That means you go to Krishna, and in this is Ramakrishna. Very kind, very compassionate, very pure. That's why I say, Mahapurush Maharaj used to say, no? I told many times, that you need not have to meditate. If your mind is too restless, look at Ramakrishna's photo. That is your meditation. That will purify your heart. Huh? Most of us cannot meditate. But because this Ramakrishna's photo is the Samadhi's state photo, when he's tuned to God consciousness. That means when one is tuned to God consciousness, only there remains only that Narayana, that divine, that absolute. Therefore, if you look at that, unconsciously your mind will be uplifted. So this is important. They are giving some argument why you should worship God, Sattika God, for your Sattik realization. If you are a Rajasic and Tamasic, you will worship. And the dacoits in India, everything goes with God. If you want to steal, then you worship one form of mother. Mother, I am going to kill today. I want to get some money. I am going to do robbery tonight. Huh? So I am giving you worship, some flower, puja, so that I get a good robbery. And I can get good money by stealing or beating or killing, whatever. So they go to that type of worship. No. And also you want God, then you will not go to that type of God. You will go to that God, benign God. He has nothing, you see, sitting like that, bare body. There is no gold, jewelry, rudraksha bead, no mark here, no matted lock here. See, this is called sattika, pure sattva. There is no sign of external pomp and glory. So you have to go there. 30th verse. स्वैवेदं ससर्जाग्रे भगवान् आत्ममायया सदा सदरूपया चासु गुणोमयी aguno vibhu. Though himself beyond the gunas, God is beyond all gunas. We always know in Vedanta. Brahman is beyond all gunas. Sattika God is close to Brahman or Brahman himself. So though himself beyond the gunas, the Supreme Being has his inherent power, Atma Maya. Yes, his Atma Maya, his power, constituted of the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Though he is beyond guna, but he has his weapon, three gunas, through which capable of subsisting in the dual condition of cause and effect. By virtue of this power, the Lord projected all that is seen as the universe. So the whole universe has come out of God. How? See, he has projected himself out. How? By the three gunas, Satya, Rajas, and Tamas. Though he is beyond, though he himself is beyond, he has projected out of himself these three gunas. And the whole universe of name and form has come. 31st one. Taya vilasiteshu eshu guneshu gunavaniva antapravishtaya bhati vijnanena vijrimbhitaha. Taya vilasiteshu eshu. That power have been manifested all forms which are the combination of the gunas. Then he entered into them by identification, yet remain unaffected by them, owing to his immaculate self-awareness. You know, when we create something, we write an article. It's my article. Somebody has taken my article, some point, not mention me, we get mad. God has created the whole universe. Brahman created the whole universe by his Atma Shakti. Atma Shakti, what is the Guna Shakti? Trigunatmika Shakti. Manifested this whole universe. Naturally, it should be attached to it. But creating everything for fun, no attachment. That's why this whole world is created by God, by God's power. That is called the Maya Shakti. Here is called the Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya, by his power, intrinsic power, Yoga Maya means three gunas. He has created this whole universe, and he has entered into it as it were, an Upanishadic idea. Tatsistva tadeva anupravishat, creating this entire universe, he has entered into it. So entering into that, but he is detached. That is the beauty of God's creation. And anything we create immediately, we try to write our name. Even the painting, every painter will have to write a corner in the name, my name, my signature. And someone cannot steal and tell his, because identification remains. I have written maybe worst article sometime, but I keep a copy of it because it's mine. You know, is it? It's very natural. Uh, I have prepared this. That's why people prepare food and brings us, and they say, "Have you taken my food?" Meaning what? Minus is there. I created, but it is attached. But God's creation is not like that. God creates everything, but detached. So that's why that power having manifested in all forms, which are the combination of the gunas, he entered into them by identification, yet unaffected by them, owing to his immaculate self-awareness. I am the Atman, that self is there. 32. Just as the one fire entering into the different pieces of wood manifest as many fires according to the fuel. No? One fire, same fire. Agnerijataikang bhuvanang pravishya. Same verse you can find in the Katha Upanishad. Agni, the same fire, you put some salt in the fire. The flame becomes different color. You put some oil, it becomes one. Color becomes different. You put some, your cooking food has overflowed and falling on the fire. It gives a different color. So many colors are different, but fire is the only one. Similarly, just as the one fire entering into different pieces of wood manifested many fires according to the fuel, so the Supreme Being, the soul of all, manifested the many in the various forms produced by the combination of the gunas. So all these are happening by the gunas, the prakriti, three gunas. By that, what are the three gunas coming from? Three gunas are coming from Narayana himself. It is his Maya, Yoga Shakti, Yoga Maya. It is said that God creates this universe by his Yoga Maya power, power of yoga. 33. Entering into all living beings created by himself by combining the effects of the gunas like the subtle elements, the senses, the mind. The Lord enjoys the sense objects through the bodies of these created beings. Huh? He's enjoying being so many jivas. 7.5 or 4 billion, 5 billion it has become by this. Every day it is jumping, you know. The 7.5 billion jivas, he has become only one God entering into everywhere. He is playing himself with his own form. Huh? That is the way the Lord. That's why he created it and entered into it and enjoying the play fun. As you enjoy your dream, you are the only person, your mind is only one. And in the dream you create your enemy, your friend, your big feast, or you are hungry, or you are fearful, you are running away, you are tired, you are helpless, or you are very powerful. Everything is your mental creation. You enjoy. Why dream? Because you enjoy your dream. Though at that time you feel, no. But otherwise, why are you going to dream? So God creates this universe for fun only. And he becomes all this universe, but not attached to anything. So, 34th verse, he, the protector of all the worlds, extends his grace and help by condescending to manifest himself as divine incarnations born among devas, animals, and man. Bhavati esha satyena lokan vai loko bhavana leelavatarunurato deva tirjang naradishu. So, what does it say? That he, the Lord, the Krishna, the protector of all the worlds, extends his grace and help by condescending to manifest himself as divine incarnations. So he also descends himself. He creates the whole universe and he recreates himself. That's why Krishna come, Rama come, like you and me. They are born like a child as we are. They grow, they play, they fun, they cry, they weep like us. And they die one day physical death, no? But this is all him, he becomes condescending to manifest himself. He manifests in the divine incarnation. He manifests as the devas, as the animals, and as the men. So here we end. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Paramahasyang Sanghitayang Paramaha Hangsha Sanghitaya Prathamaskande Naimisha Upakhane Ditiodhaya. Here ends the second chapter of the Bhagavat Mahapurana, Great Purana. It is first chapter, and this has been spoken in Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya Khane. What happened in the Naimisharanya, where Shukadeva came another. In that chapter, this here ends the chapter 2. So we'll start chapter 3 the next day. Okay, so what we understood today? That love Krishna, love Ramakrishna, love Rama, love Christ, love Buddha, the person, they are God incarnate. They have pure sattva. Three gunas are there with him, but with the pure sattva, we can realize God. Given the example, remember the example, in a home of fire, you can have a on which you put the pieces of wood and you can burn it. And when you burn, also smoke comes. Then comes fire. When fire comes, then only you can pour ghee. So, to have the result of the homo is when you offer the oblation. That means to get that oblation when the fire is there. Fire is the sattva quality. Ram, tamas and rajas are the other qualities. Smoke is the rajas quality. And the wood is the tamas quality. The whole world. And you can worship tamasic God, rajasic God. As I said, you go to worship Manasa Devi. Manasa is the goddess in the areas where there are many snakes in India, in Bangladesh and other areas. You see, they worship Mother Manasa. That's also Divine Mother. Her name is Manasa, Manasa. Manasa is the goddess of snake. So that snakes will not trouble me.
Because she
Mother will
is
protect.
from the mind of Shiva.
Jai ho, mane ho, but that type of worship they do. They don't go to worship Mother Sarada, Sita, Saraswati. So why you get inclined? Because your mind in that level. So you go to the similar tamasic mind, the tamasic type of worship, rajasa mind, rajasic worship, sattika mind, sattika worship. And sattika mind is necessary for God realization. So your devotion should grow by holy company, go to holy company and take those lessons and cultivate that devotion in you and then come close to God realization. Very beautiful, good. Okay. So we end here. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Sri Ram Krishna Panamastu. Now, if we have any question, now
there I can.
I am seeing here.
You can read it.
Oh, it is the same
Yeah.
question. Acha. Is it easy to get consumed by Maya if we are looking at the image of Sri Ramakrishna with eyes open when we cannot practice meditation? Uh, it is easy to get consumed by Maya. No. Why will we consumed by Maya? We don't want to be consumed by Maya. That's why we are worshipping God. God is the power, Maya is the power of God. So Maya is the power of God, and that power keeps us identified here. But cultivating, praying to Maya, Yoga Maya, say that we pray to Holy Mother, Ma, please remove the. We talked about that Sunday lecture. Mother is the power, Yoga Maya. Praying that, what will happen? My ignorance will vanish, and then I will not be bound by the bondage of tamas and rajas tendencies and qualities. So when we meditate on Ramakrishna with open eyes, that will help us to get out of Maya. Rather, to get out of Maya, we think of holy company. That holy company is reading good books as we read for 1 hour, chanting the name of Lord, repeating the name, devotional practice, meditation, whatever we are doing in spiritual life, they are helping us to get out of Maya, get out of Maya. And if we cannot do meditation, that's why I didn't suggest, Swami Shivananda, Mahapurush Maharaj, he suggested that in this Kali Yuga, take the name of Ramakrishna. That's okay. That will be enough. And if you cannot meditate, just look at him. That itself will do whatever good is to do. Because in him, there is nothing rajasic, nothing tamasic, nothing that can bind us. It is all renunciation, all total knowledge, wisdom, total identification with Satchidananda self. Okay? Huh.
What are the devas?
Huh?
Devas?
Devas. Devas means gods.
Oh.
Deva means God. Those are effulgent beings. That's why when we imagine our gods and goddesses, they have an halo. There's a light radiant from there. So devas means different gods and goddesses. They are called devas.
And what is Shabodeva?
Sarvadeva means all gods. Sarva means all. Deva means gods. All gods. All gods. What is the all gods? All the different aspects as we read today. All the gods are where? Coming from one Satchidananda, who is, when he thinks I will create the world, he takes his power, that is Shakti. We talked about Shakti. That Shakti is today we had, name of Shakti is Yoga Maya. In the Bhakti school, they are using the terminology. Same Maya, what Vedanta says, is they are calling Yoga Maya. And that Yoga Maya, by the power, 3 gunas are there. Through the 3 gunas, he creates this whole universe and enters into it, so the 3 world remains so vivid, realistic before us. And now you want to go back to home, then you have to go to Yogamaya and pray and go to Krishna or the Adi, Mahavishnu they are talking about here, Mahavishnu. Lord, in Sanskrit they don't say Mahavishnu, but Bhagavan they say. But translation has been done that way, and that is the normally all the devotional school things like Mahavishnu, Age of Mahavishnu, with the one hand holding mace, another is the disc, Sankha Chakra Gada, there is another Padma on the lotus. Sankha is the conch shell, Shankha, and this is Chakra, It's called the disc, to destroy something. And this is for the sound, symbol of oh. And Gada, the destruction of the evil. Shankha Chakra Gada, Padma. Padma is the lotus. And lotus is symbol of love, bhakti. Well, you can say Om. Om is the sound. Okay, so Jaima. Then we'll meet you again at 7:30 probably. We see, then we'll read that Santi Gita, what is called? Song of Peace. Song of Peace by Bhagavan Krishna. Again Bhagavan Krishna. But this is Bhakti, that is Jnana. But Bhakti or Jnana, what is the difference? I do not know. They are talking about the three gunas. They also talk about the three gunas. They call the Maya. Here is also calling Maya. And then you think of Atman, Atman, Atman. Here they think of Sattva quality, Sattva quality. Don't go to the Rajas and Tamas. There are gods and goddesses in different level. Huh? So it is like, why but in Vaishnava tradition, ISKCON books you'll find demigod, demigod, demigod. Demigod means it is not actually demi, they are not useless, worthless God. But God Himself manifests in their level. A baby is asking some candy. To the baby, he who gives candy is a good guy. Is it not? So if he does not know, go to today, today who got the Nobel laureate?
Three Nobel physics.
Physics. Today, 3 people got Nobel Prize in physics about the environmental situation. They worked on that. So if one Nobel laureate comes to a baby is not interested in it. Baby needs candy. Who can give me candy? So if Ramakrishna comes to a person who is asking for money, he will say, Baba, money, you touch me, my hand will break. So what he will do? You cannot go to Ramakrishna for asking for money. You have to go to him, give me jnana, bhakti, vairagya. You want money? Then you have to go to Mother Lakshmi. Mother Lakshmi is waiting with a container of gold and jewels, etc. in her container and holding it in this, and she can give you.
But that man, Upendranath, he was the owner of that Basmati place. He wanted that thing only. So Sri Ramakrishna gave in physical body when he was granted.
But he didn't say that. He didn't say that. You said you start your work. He said like anyone can give 1 rupee. He gave 1 rupee, Ramakrishna. That he was very poor, but he did devoted to Ramakrishna. Devotion was also there, but for his family needs, so he gave one token donation. 1, okay, you take this. You give, any holy man gives something. Does not mean that he is fulfilling. But Ramakrishna's grace, he became a big, rich person, and he became a owner of a press, printing press. And that printing press also, Ramakrishna's interest, all the scriptures, all translations of the old scriptures was first collected and printed, appointing scholars. They have printed that printing press, what was established by that gentleman whom Ramakrishna gave 1 rupee. In those days, 1 rupee had some value. But that was the initiative. And through that, he grew, and for the good. Ramakrishna is not given only for making him rich, but Ramakrishna has extracted more from him. Given all these children, when they need money, Upen Babu used to give some money for the monastery expenses. Upen Babu is doing the same money, printing the text of the scriptures, old in Indian spiritual text. Who will spend money for that? He took the initiative and he started printing, selling, and reorganizing things like that. So, in a way, yeah, for his mission, he did it. But anyhow, he gives, of course. But no one goes, you go ask him more, then he will go into samadhi. We are reading yesterday the Akhandananda Swami in his on his wandering days. He met one guy who was who wanted to give some money to Akhandananda Swami. He said, "No, I will not take it." Then he said, "Huh? I in my life saw only one Swami, and one he was Dakshineshwar Ramakrishna. I am that Lakshmi Marwari who gave 10,000, wanted to give 10,000 rupees to Ramakrishna and he rejected it. And I see you. Who are you?" Then he came to know he is a disciple of Ramakrishna. So, this Akhandananda is going to Ramakrishna. Why? He does not like money. He likes illumination. And Ramakrishna is here to give illumination Sattiko. Sattiko is getting attracted to Sattiko people. Many people come to Ramakrishna and don't find interest. They go to some place where they'll get some other facilities are available. Yogic power, vibhuti power. So people are attracted. They are not bad people, but their mindset is rajasic and tamasic, means worldly achievement, worldly prosperity. They don't need it, there's nothing wrong. They're not going to steal or destroy anyone. Okay, Jai Ma, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.